Hello, welcome to Oxford Heirlooms. In this video, we're going to sew the 4 buttonholes using the vintage Singer buttonhole attachment on my Singer number 347, I think it is. Okay, now I've already made 2 buttonholes over here on the side, and let me tell you what I did. When I was making the little dress that was the first part of this project, I had a situation where my pattern told me to put some tissue paper behind the buttonholes to stabilize it. And I've never had a pattern make that suggestion again. And I did it, and it worked out real well. So when I made the slip, I used the tissue paper again, and it continued to make, the buttonholes are just a little bit smoother than they are occasionally. So what I've done was I cut myself a little stack of tissue paper so that I've got a little stash for in the future, because this may be a new trick for me. Okay, so let me get started here. The first thing I need to do is I need to click the template of my buttonholer to the back, or what would be the top of the little template cam. Okay, now I'm going to get my piece of tissue paper. Now, tissue paper has kind of a glossy side and a rough side. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the glossy side down and the rough side against the fabric, so that the rough side will kind of grab the batiste while it's underneath the presser foot. Okay, now I've got 2 little blue marks marked for the end of the buttonhole. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to drop my needle right in the blue mark. Then I'm going to line up the top of the diaper cover where it's parallel to the edge of the presser foot, and then I will proceed to sew the first buttonhole. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit so you can see this in action. I'm always saying how much I love this old-fashioned buttonhole maker, because each buttonhole turns out to be exactly the same size and shape as the one before it. And as I've mentioned over and over again, my newer machine has a buttonhole foot attachment that I have to put the little buttons in so that it knows what size to make the buttonholes, rather than this particular vintage buttonholer that has a cam that is a specific size. And on my new machine, the little buttons occasionally fall out, and I don't end up, particularly when I'm using 1/4-inch buttons, I don't end up with buttonholes that are beautifully the same size and shape. Okay, so I'm dropping my needle in my blue dot again. I've got the edge of my fabric parallel to the edge of the presser foot, and then I just proceed to sew the next buttonhole. And I really do think this tissue paper may make a difference. That may be a trick that seamstresses of old knew about, and has just kind of gotten lost through time. So I'm glad I saw it, and I'm really glad that I had the idea to go ahead and try it again, because that may be something I do all the time into the future. Okay, so let me clip my threads and remove my tissue paper. There. Oh, I am just really pleased with the way this turned out. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. Okay, so there's my diaper cover with my 4 beautiful, just just gorgeous little buttonholes now. Like I said, and sometimes, particularly when I'm doing buttonholes on 2 layers of fabric, you know, I have occasionally had a situation where the buttonhole attachment foot, or the buttonhole, vintage buttonholer, made a little buttonhole that was just slightly puckered. But maybe this tissue paper will do away with that problem for forever and ever. I certainly hope so. Okay, so sewing the buttonholes on the front of the diaper cover was what we were doing today. Thank you.